In my 28 years on Earth, I don't have many regrets. I feel like that has to count for something, right? I've compiled a list of specific actions and processes that will help you build more confidence, progress further in life, and feel better about yourself and who you're becoming, because I recently learned that the purpose of a vision is not actually to achieve it, but rather who it forces us to become today, right now, and I'm grateful to be sharing this message with you guys. I'm by no means an expert or a guru, but I have learned quite a few lessons based on real life experience, building my career, corporate America, 5-year software sales, getting fired, moving cities 4 times, taking over the family business, posting content on the internet every day, 80,000 followers across YouTube, LinkedIn, and building my life to a point where I can justify and afford living on the 45th floor, downtown Austin, Texas, and making a video for you middle of the day. The first way to change your life overnight is by protecting your energy. Think about the activities and the people that drain your energy, that as a result of being around them or consuming it, you feel worse about yourself. For me personally, that's reading social media. I produce content, but I don't really consume much content, because when I scroll down the X app, aka Twitter, I don't really feel too good about myself. When I'm scrolling down LinkedIn, I'm saying, man, these guys are making all this money selling courses, and I'm just sitting over here twiddling my thumbs, making some YouTube videos. I don't feel very good about myself, and that takes away energy from me. When I read the headlines in the news that says, war over here, everyone's in debt, inflation, you can't afford anything, it doesn't make me feel very good. So I avoid it, and I focus on what gives me more energy. And that's gonna come into play in one of the later tips. The second way to improve your life overnight is by changing your settings. Whenever you move locations, you can completely reinvent yourself and automatically build momentum. For me, I've moved 4 times in the last few months. I moved from Dallas to Denver. I lived in Florida for a little bit. I took a trip to Mexico. I moved back to Columbus, where I'm from, and then I recently moved to Austin, Texas. And with each move, I learned something new about myself. It allows me to recreate myself. Of course, the longer you're at a place, the deeper relationships you can build, the more you know, the terrain. But I find that if I feel stuck or stagnant, simply by moving, and I've moved every year for the last 9 years, so even if I move 2 miles away, which I have done multiple times, you still feel reinvigorated. So I encourage you, if you've been in one spot for too long and you're awfully comfortable, mix it up and get uncomfortable. I literally just have a mattress on my floor. That's it, and I feel more comfortable than ever. The third way to improve your life overnight is by cutting off vices. For me personally, I've always had to give something up in order to become the version of myself I want to be. Early on, that looked like video games. I was addicted to playing video games, so I literally threw away my Xbox. Fast forward to right out of college, I loved partying on the weekends and gambling on sports. It was never a problem. I'm like a once a month drinker. I'm like, hey, place a few teaser bets. They call me Teaser T. But when you show up Monday morning and you're in a hole and you're wondering who you're gonna bet on Monday Night Football, it's taking away from you reaching your potential. So I said, no more, I'm done gambling. And then as I think about my vices today, it really revolves around self-talk, how I think about myself, belief, confidence. So I've even cut out alcohol. I'm 75 days sober. I'm very healthy. I stretch. I get a lot of water, a lot of exercise. So I identify what is the one thing in my life that if I just cut off, I would be so much better. And I encourage you to make a list of those things, because that's always what I've done, and that's unlocked the next level of me becoming more successful. The fourth way to improve your life overnight is by seeking out like-minded people. One of my top priorities and values since moving to Austin was deliberately trying to meet new people, solely to build authentic relationships. Whatever I can do to put myself in situations to meet new people, I'm all in for that. I'm all for that. I view relationships now as a value exchange. So I'm not just showing up hoping, expecting them to be my friend. I'm showing up asking myself, how can I add value to this person's life? Because the more valuable I can become to them, the harder I am to replace in their day-to-day flow, the more valuable I'll be, and hopefully the deeper relationship we will be able to build. And I think that this applies to, if you're a guy, other dudes, building that strong male network, or even with females as well. and that's a part of my life from a dating standpoint. I'm still trying to work out. But bottom line, I'm focused on becoming valuable to other people, and I simply will not tolerate being around people that do not share my values. And for people that, let's say, are drinking all day on a Saturday, that's just not what I'm going to be doing. So it's not like I'm judging it whatsoever, but that's just not what I'm going to do. So if you find yourself in a pattern, because I've been in these patterns where you're just around these people, there's literally a jackhammer over there. I'd like to cut that out of my life right now. But find like-minded people, and it really is so motivating. The fifth way to improve your life overnight is to hone in your mission. I went to a retreat this week, and I'm going to talk more about it in a moment. But the action statement I came away with is that I am a mission-driven leader, claiming abundance, purpose, and joy for myself, my family, and my community. I'm focused on achieving my goals and my mission, and I want you to think about if you could achieve anything in the next 3 years, literally anything. Don't worry about the how. Don't worry about the mechanics. Anything. What would it be? And for me, that's building the family business to $10 million top line revenue. That's building this YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers. That's finding a life partner that I can build and grow my life with. And that's maintaining perfect health, which I have today. So those are the 4 things I want to accomplish personally. That's my mission right now. So we can come back in 3 years and watch this video and see where I stack up. The 6th way to change your life overnight is to place value on community. This past weekend, I did something a bit out of my comfort zone. I paid $2,800 to go glamping with 50 other tech sales professional people in the middle of nowhere. And it was one of the best experiences I've had in a long time. All we did, we woke up together, we ate together, we had deep conversations together, we meditated together, we did yoga together, and it was an environment where you could really be your authentic self without fear of repercussions or being judged, and if anything, reinforced for that behavior. Because when I sit there and say, I'm a driven person, I'm very serious, I'm gonna hopefully make a lot of money, I wanna help a lot of people, I wanna become very successful, people around me are saying, okay, great, what are the next actions we can take? How can I help? And having a community of people that are winners and like-minded, it's so powerful, and it offers a compounding force. The 7th way to change your life overnight is to learn a skill you can be paid for. Early on in my sales career, I realized that prospecting would be the foundation for a successful career. If I could acquire customers, I could always make money. Even if it didn't work out at that company, I know I would always be in demand in the marketplace because I can do sales and I can acquire customers. Specifically cold calling. If you take a step back and I think about, what am I known for? It's not much. But if it would be anything, if you type in Trent Dressel YouTube, live cold calling comes up. I built a brand around cold calling. And I want to be known as someone who knows their stuff with cold calling because it's a skill I can get paid for, and it's something I've made 60,000 cold calls. I've sold tens of thousands of dollars of my cold calling course, and it's helped hundreds of reps be more successful. And it's cool to me in hindsight to realize that at the moment I wasn't learning cold calling and sales to try and sell other people how to do it. I was learning it because I wanted to master my craft, and I'm still trying to master my craft, but I just so happened to also have the opportunity to share my personal learnings along the way, and it's allowed me to monetize that skill. So think very closely and carefully about what skills do you actually like and you're actually good at that eventually you could get paid for. And you'll be underpaid until one day you'll be overpaid. The 8th way to change your life overnight is to figure out your finances. I pay over $3,000 a month in rent. And the reason why that's possible is because I carefully track my finances. For the last 18 months, I have an entire Excel spreadsheet with hundreds of cells filled out, and it's every one of my income streams, exactly how much I make that month, exactly how much my expenses are, exactly how much I'm contributing to taxes, exactly how much I'm investing. I carefully track every single dollar that comes in and every single dollar that comes out. And the learning from that is you can only cut your expenses down so much. For example, I moved in with my parents. When you're not paying rent, it's awfully nice. It gets very cheap. You start to have all this disposable income. I'm not just wasting this disposable income, I'm investing it. I'm thinking about how can I use this to put into myself to make me better? How can I put this into my business to improve it? I'm very careful with what I do with my money. And rather than cutting the expenses down, I'm now looking at how do I just increase the money coming in, and that will fix most of the problems. The 9th way to improve your life overnight is to operate from a place of indifference. The way I've always thought about cold calling is to obsess over the process and emotionally detach from the results, meaning all that matters is actually doing it. So long as you make your 100 calls, you're good. It doesn't matter if you set a meeting. It doesn't really matter if you set 3 meetings. Nothing really matters that much. I have a timer in my phone that tracks the day I'm gonna die. And I know it's very morbid, but I wanna live to be 104 years old, which is year 2100. So I will be around in year 2100, I will be 104 years old, and that is my goal, to live to be that age. Once I hit that age, most likely I'll be fine to die at that point. But until that point, I'm gonna be staying living, and I just know that one day I'm gonna die. 10 years from that point, no one will remember me, no one will know who I am. Maybe these YouTube videos will still exist, but nothing really matters that much. So operate from a place of indifference. The 10th and final way to change your life overnight, and if you're enjoying this message, hit the thumbs up button now because it really helps, is to show up every day. I remind myself every day when times are tough. I'm calling on these accounts, new industry, new buyer persona, no website, no CRM, no direction, no training, no resources. I just bought myself a $100 Apollo subscription, a $100 LinkedIn subscription, and I have Gmail. I'm going for it. Nothing's holding me back. And I remind myself, I'm one call away from changing everything, from changing the business, from changing my life. I'm one new connection away from changing my life. I'm one video away from changing the trajectory of this channel. You are one insert XYZ thing away from changing everything. So long as you keep showing up every day, grinding out towards your mission, you're eventually going to get what you want. In summary, we talked about the 10 specific actions and processes that you can implement to find more confidence, to progress further in life, to feel better about yourself and who you're becoming. Number 1, protect your energy. Number 2, change your settings. Number 3, cut off your vices. Number 4, seek out like-minded people. Number 5, hone your mission. Number 6, place value on community. Number 7, learn a skill you can be paid for. Number 8, figure out your finances. Number 9, operate from a place of indifference. Number 10, show up every day. If you guys enjoyed this video, share it with a friend, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.